Hi, my name is Heather. I hope you're having a good day today. I've tried to record this multiple times a day and it's been one thing after another. I had a weird noise in my craft room and then my dog started barking like multiple times, and so if there's kind of some weird edits in place, that'll be why. I'm trying my best over here, but I'm struggling a little bit and I am still nervous, so I am probably gonna say a lot. I am trying really, really hard to relax and just take it easy and stuff, but it's weird talking on camera, but I like showing what I'm working on, and I it's a good creative outlet for me to be able to show people, especially, I mean, if you're on this video, you obviously like cross stitching, so it's nice to be able to share that with other people, other like-minded people. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I have worked a little bit on the Haunted Library, and this is by LolaCrowCrossStitch, and this is on 14 count Aida. This is by Flair, and I did this little book and I started working on the outlines of this ghost figure. In my last video, I had showed you I was working on the vampire, but I put it in a new Q-snap. I went down to an 8x8 because I wanted to start working on the stairs that go here. They are brown, and a lot of brown, and whenever I get to like huge chunks of kind of the same color, it kind of bores me a little bit, so I thought I would get started over here, and then when I get about like halfway up the stairs, I might move back over for a little bit. And so yeah, I haven't done too much for this one this week, but I did get a little bit of stitching done on it. And my Q-Snap Grime Guard was actually a gift by Courtney Ray. I was involved in a stitch swap, and along with the stitches that she sent me, she also made me a Grime Guard, which is super cute. I love this one a lot. The next project, which is the one I have worked on a lot on this week, is my Final Fantasy XIV Stitch Along. If you saw the last video, I was working on this one, which is the Summoner Job Stone, which is my favorite job in the game. So whenever I decided to skip ahead, I had to start with this one. And I also did the Samurai one this week, and I started working on the Sage, which is really hard to see. I'll get up close here. The threads really match the color of the fabric, but I'm hoping the main color in the center is white, so I'm hoping that it will make it pop, and then whenever I get done with all the stitching, I'm going to do the back stitching, and it should be, I'm pretty sure it's like a gold metallic-y color, and so I'm hoping that the sparkle will make it pop up against the background so you can see that a little bit better. But I am loving this one so far. This is by Lumiselene, I believe is how you say her name. I might have butchered it. I'm sorry if I did. And this is on 28 count, even weave by PictureThisPlus. So my next project that I have been working on is my Sleeping Dragon, the one with the yarn. I think it's called like Dragon with Knitting. I'm not going to attempt to say the designer's name because she is either Ukrainian or Russian. I'm not sure. I need to actually look that up. But this is on 28 count linen. I don't remember the brand. I will have it listed below. But I worked on this heart this week. So I didn't do a whole lot, but I hate this fabric. I've never worked on linen before, and linen is not for me. Some people love stitching on linen, but it is not my thing. I do not like how it feels. I'm used to stitching on Aida, and I really like the even weave, which is on my last one, but this one, the threads just move way too much whenever I'm sticking my needle in there. It's weird. It's harder for me to count on, and I am not a fan of using it. But I'm gonna finish this one. I've done way too much to give up on it, and I think one of my issues with this is when I first started stitching it, you can see in the blues around the face and in the wings, I think my tension was way too tight. You can really see the holes in between, and I think that's because I'm used to stitching on Aida, and you do usually tighter tension and stuff. So I know some people that would be a deal breaker, but for me, I'm just kind of like, well, that's unfortunate. But it's not super noticeable, especially if you're far away, and I'm not going to be entering it into any judging or anything, so I'm not as concerned about it. But I am excited to get to working on this one again. I love the colors. I think the colors are really pretty, and I'm excited to be working on another one of these dragons. I'm really glad that I picked it back up. So my next two, I haven't touched. I haven't done anything with this So Happy. If you saw the last video, you know that there is a pink sewing machine that goes over here, and I haven't been motivated to work on this one. But I am going, my goal this year, I really want to try to finish more things, because I have, my backlog is huge. I have a ton of patterns, like way too many. So I really want to try to start knocking them out and get more things started, but also finish more. And so my goal is to get this one finished this year, which shouldn't be too hard because it's just a sewing machine over here, and then that's it. And it has a unique, like when I got the pattern, it has like a kind of a unique finish in it. The majority of my finishes are, I just put them in a frame. I frame them myself. I've never sent anything to a framer before. I probably should if I do anything ever big, but I'm not a professional cross stitcher. I'm a very casual cross stitcher, but I like how they finished this one because they put kind of like the scalloped like lacing behind it and mounted it, and it's a really cool finish. So I really want to try to finish this one this year, so I can get it put up in my craft room. And let's see. And the other one I haven't touched is my gingerbread house. I have not worked on this one. I don't know. I know I just said it. This is going to be the year of finishes for me. I'm going to try to finish things. I don't know if I'm going to really work on this, at least anytime soon. I might put it away until it gets kind of closer back to Christmas time. So we currently live in southern Georgia, and it is completely different down here. It's really warm. Like just a couple days ago, it was like 80 degrees. And as someone who grew up in Tennessee, it's really weird to be at 80 degrees in January. Like, it's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be snowing. My mom last night actually sent me pictures, and it was flurrying back home, and I was just like, oh man, like I would love to see snow again. And so me and my husband, he is in the Navy, and he was first stationed in Connecticut, so we moved up there, and that's the first time I got to experience like real snows. I believe the most that we ever got there was 18 inches of snow, which was incredible. I absolutely loved it. I loved seeing that much snow on the ground and everything. And then we lived in Maine for a couple years, and we got some pretty decent snows there. I don't think we ever got quite 18 inches there, but I know we definitely got like around a foot or so. And from there, we've moved down here to Georgia, where snow does not exist. And up until probably about like 2 weeks ago, my flowers in my flower garden were still blooming because it hadn't got cold enough to kill them yet. So it's really, really different living down here. But we do plan on moving by the end of the year, hopefully, if everything works out. And yeah, so it'll be a change again to get used to having colder weather again and stuff. And I bought a new temperature stitch along. I've never done a temperature stitch along before. I'll try to show a picture of what it could look like here. And it is a magical potions one. And it's really, really cute. But since we are probably moving by the end of the year, I don't want to do it and it have like 2 different locations, because it would be such a drastic change, like not in the middle of it, but kind of towards the end of it and stuff. So I'm kind of waiting. I've also heard people, I saw somebody on Twitter say that they were going to do it based on their mood and have different colors for whatever mood that they were like mainly in that day, which I thought was a really unique idea, but I don't really remember my mood on the first like few days of the year already, so I'm probably just gonna wait, and next year hopefully we'll be settled in some place for a full year, and then I will be able to stitch that. So I'm really excited. I think it's really cute, and I've never done a temperature stitch along before. So I did kind of get my first finish of the year. I have made a Cactuar Biscornu. So these are little characters from Final Fantasy, and they are super cute. The pattern is from Crafty Kurumi on Etsy. She does a lot of minis, and especially like video game and TV show kind of anime based miniature stitches, and I love all the detail that she's able to put in there with all the back stitches and everything, and I just think it is super cute. So I decided to make mine into a Biscornu. I still have to stitch the back part of this and then stitch together. So I've only got the stitches done so far, and this is just some scrap 14 count blue Aida that I had, which is really, really old. Honestly, this is probably from the 90s. I believe this was in the stash of stuff that my mom gave me when she decided she didn't want to cross stitch anymore. So it's I couldn't even begin to tell you what kind of fabric this is other than Aida. But if you haven't seen a Biscornu before, I have one right here. So this is the first Biscornu I ever made. I believe Biscornu is, oh, I got some like lint on there. Biscornu is like, it means like odd shaped or something like that. And so yeah, I use mine as a pin cushion for when I'm sewing. And these are images based off of the game Stardew Valley, which is a game that me and my husband love playing. We are huge fans. And I actually got the pattern from the Stardew Valley cross-stitch book, which is actually the first time I've heard of a Biscornu. And you can see one on the cover there. I just replaced a couple of the images. So I did the poppy, corn, pumpkin, the chicken, and the sweet Jimberry from in the game. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe all of these you get in fall in the season. So I thought it was super cute. And like I said, this was the first biscorner I've made, and I've probably made like 3 or 4 sets. I'm not entirely sure. But I absolutely love these. I think they're super cute, and they're quick and easy to make as well. So, and let's see. So I also started working on the big map. This is the big massive project that I was starting to work on from Stardew Valley again, and this was the, I believe it's 54,000 stitches. It is something like that. It's a ton. It was supposed to be like roughly this big, but I started stitching it down here, and I did not like the coverage. If you can see, you really see the fabric in there, and it was very splotchy looking to me, and I was not a fan of it. I didn't like how it looked, and I didn't want to, so this is two threads, and I did not want to go up to 3 because this was already going to be a big massive project, and I didn't want to waste any more thread than what I was already going to have to use. So I sat down and I thought about it, and I actually ordered some new fabric from 123Stitch. I actually decided to go down to 16 count Aida, and so the coverage I know will be better, and it'll make the overall size a little bit smaller too, which isn't such a bad thing because this is such a big piece. So yeah, I'm really glad I started in this corner. I like stitching from the bottom left and working my way up. It's just the way that I stitch. And I'm glad I started with a dark color because I was able to see, you know, like the coverage isn't as nice as I would like it to be. If I would have started with a lighter color, it might not have been as noticeable. So I'm really glad I noticed, and this is all that I have stitched. I do not know what I'm going to do with this fabric. It's really nice because it's pre-gridded, but since the coverage on it isn't good, I don't know, because I would have to use 3 threads on it, and it's such a big piece of fabric, and I have more of this too. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with this fabric, but I'll find some use eventually, I hope. So I also have been studying on this. So if you saw in my last video, I told you I was very intimidated by this pattern. There is a lot of colors, a lot going on. You can see all of the threads in the back and everything. And it's supposed to be 12 inches by 16 inches. And this is on 18 count. And this is the fabric that they included. And so I did my measurements on this because if you remember, I said I didn't want to use this fabric because I like using my Q-snaps and you need more fabric on the edges. And I did the measurements, and you get about like 2 inches all the way around, which isn't too bad. And so I was like, okay, you know, I can make it work. Like I'll just use this fabric. But then I got to studying the charts, and there is a lot of quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches, and I do not want to stitch it on 18 count. It's hard to do the quarter stitches and to like stitch it in the middle. And so I've been debating this. I've been going back and forth. I don't really know what I want to do, because if I go up in the stitch count, it would be 36 count, which I have never stitched on before. The most I've ever, like the highest count I've ever used is the 28, which is right here. And the holes are already tiny. So at 36 count, it would be even more. But if I went and tried to use like 28 count, I don't know if I have enough thread because it's a kit. And I don't want to take a chance on running out because there's not a DMC conversion for this. So I would have to try to match it myself. Because this is the MCG Textiles kit. And I'm pretty sure these are discontinued. I don't think they're making them anymore. So I don't know what it would be like if I tried to like get more thread for them or anything, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to get some 36 count before I attempt to do this, because I really want to get started on this. Like I said, I'm really wanting to work on my backlog this year because I have way too many projects, and this is definitely one of them that I would love to get started on. I also have some more sleeping dragons. I think I've got like 3 or 4 more. I know one of them is laying on a pile of pancakes, which look amazing. And let's see, I've also got some Harry Potter based ones. I've got the Dark Mark from the series, which is really cool. It's like a skull that has like a snake coming out of it, and it's really it's got some glowy thread in it, which I'm really excited about. I also have the Harry Potter common rooms that's got all 4 houses, so those are 4 pretty big stitches as well. I'm really liking the majority of them are Russian based designers. They do a lot of very subtle fades and a lot of blends and stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty sure she is Russian or Ukrainian. I'm not entirely sure. I got her patterns off of my bobbin. I've been looking at on mybobbin.com. I've been looking at those patterns. There's so many patterns on there that have just, the details are incredible, and that's the style of cross stitch that I've really fell in love with. And so I've got a few of these, and I bought like the common rooms are I also got off of my bobbin, and there's so many good patterns on there, and I don't have enough time to stitch them all yet, but I'm working on it. Hopefully I can get some progress on these and maybe get some new starts coming up soon. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed seeing my work so far. Please let me know what you're working on in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, let me know if you want to see the me putting the biscornu together. And yeah, I believe that's it for me today. I hope you have a really good day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!